Welcome, everybody, to today's session, and we are looking at the workshopper mindset. What is the type of mindset that you, as a workshop facilitator, you, as a workshop trainer, what kind of mindset do you need to have? And this issue about mindset cuts across even all domains and all industries. If you want to succeed in any industry, you need to understand what kind of mindset do I need to possess? What kind of mindset do I need to develop in order to intentionally succeed in that industry? When you see anybody succeeding in any industry, one thing stands out. It's not just about the skills, it's not just about the work they do, it is about the mindset, because your mindset powers everything that you do. You can never produce results above the quality of your mindset. And mindsetting is something that you intentionally build over time. You build your mindset by the information that you feed your mind with. You build your mindset by the experiences that you create for yourself. You build your mindset by the environment where you relate a lot, by the kind of friends you keep around you. All of these things matter. If you desire to be a music artist, you need to possess the mindset of a music artist. The mindset that a musician needs to succeed is not the same mindset that a clergy needs to succeed. And it is the same for us in this industry. There is a mindset that you must have if you will be a successful, incredible workshop facilitator, or what we're just calling here workshopper. And without this mindset, even the structure of your workshop will have issues. Even the delivery of your workshop will have issues. Even your content will have issues. Everything will not be up to standard as far as that workshop that you have in mind to deliver is concerned. Because the most important element that powers all these things, you have not sorted it out. So one thing that will be happening to you as you intentionally build this career in becoming a professional workshop facilitator and trainer is that your mindset will be changing, because you need a superior mindset to lead your participants. Participants will come to you from different backgrounds. They'll come to you with average ways of thinking. Some will come to you with a narrow way of thinking. Meanwhile, you need to help them become innovative. Some will come to you with a rigid way of thinking. Meanwhile, you need to help them to become broad. Some will come to you with a negative way of thinking. Meanwhile, you will need to help them develop a positive mindset. Some will come to you with that impossibility mindset. You will need to help them to develop that go-getter possibility mindset. Some will come. You see, you're going to face participants with different mindsets. And that is why it becomes critical for you to develop the right mindset as a workshop trainer and facilitator. Superior mentality, superior mindset is critical in this journey for you. That is why you will need to go the extra mile. You need to, and that's why you're even in this training. taking time to go through almost 16 or so courses in different areas, it is part of you building your mindset. But in today's particular course, we're going to dig deep and look at this according to a research done by A&J Smart. And we were looking at what kind of mindset do you need to develop to become a competent, successful workshop facilitator. And mindset needs consistency to build. You don't develop a good mindset overnight. Because I'm going to teach you on mindset today, the kind of mindset you need to have as a facilitator, it doesn't mean that automatically you have that mindset. No, it's going to take hard work. It's going to take you to do activities, to do the work that will contribute to the development of that mindset. And the more you do that work, because your mind is like a muscle. Your mind is like the muscles in your biceps, in your hands. The more you lift weight, for gentlemen who lift weight and they want to have 6 packs and they want to have 8 packs and they want to have big hands and big chest and all of that, you don't just wake up and have big hands and big chest and 6 packs overnight because you thought about it last night. When you wake up, you now have 6 packs and all of that. No, you need to do the activities that will enable you to build the 6 packs or to build the big chest or to build the big arms that you desire. It is the same for your mindset. Your mindset is like a muscle. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you do the activities that builds the mind, the more you develop the right mindset. And when you don't do the activities, your mind becomes rusty. There are some people that they don't think innovative. There are some people that they do the same thing the same way, nothing changes. They're in their comfort zone because they don't have the mindset that can enable them to function out of their comfort zone. So you need to be very careful about this. And that's why I'm emphasizing on this introduction. If there is one thing that you need to intentionally work on a daily basis, intentionally, is the quality of your mindset. Not just any kind of mindset, but the mindset that will become an asset for you in your industry. Because if you desire to be a professional workshop facilitator, as a personal development expert, you cannot have the mindset of a drunkard, cannot have the mindset of a party girl or a party guy. It's not going to help you in any way. Anybody who loves to party and go to nightclubs and all of that, they are driven by a mindset. So you cannot desire to be a professional workshop trainer and facilitator, and you have the mindset of a party girl and a hangout girl or a runs girl or a slay queen, as we call it. You need to transform your mindset so you can function in that dimension. So what are the elements, according to a research, what are the elements that makes up the workshopper's mindset? And these elements are critical for you to develop. Let's talk about them and then end the session. So the workshopper's mindset, a research by A&J Smart, says that the first element of this mindset is you need to be the guide, not the hero. So you need to have the mindset that you are a guide. And in this mindset, you need to have the confidence, believe in yourself that you have what it takes to guide people to succeed. That's what I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, you are a professional in the real estate sector. You need to have the belief in yourself that you have what it takes. You have the required knowledge, the required experience, you have the tools, you have the exposure, you have everything that you can use to guide somebody who go through your workshop to successfully start their own real estate career. And if you notice that this confidence is lacking, it is your responsibility to take steps. It's your responsibility to take steps as soon as possible to develop the mindset of a guide. And remember, you are not a hero. You are not there to claim that you know. Claiming that you know something is not relevant. But helping somebody to experience transformation, that is what makes you a facilitator. somebody goes through your program, they are transformed. So instead of that, you have the mind. What the first element is what? Believe or know that you are the guide. Okay? You need to guide people, challenge people, guide them to solve problems. You are not there to solve the problems for them, really. You are there to guide them, give them tips, give them highlights, order them one step at a time. Like imagine a child who is trying to walk and you're holding their hands and leaving, you hold the hands a little bit, you leave it a little bit so the child can try to walk on their own. Is very important. And remember, one of the things that will validate that your workshop was a success is that the participants should have deliverables. They should have something in their hands to show that they were able to create or produce something. That's why you don't solve the challenge for them. You guide them to solve the challenge. Again, now that is when the advantage now comes, when you have expert knowledge, where you can become a trainer and a facilitator. So it is also possible where you can become the hero and the guide. The hero, that means you teach them a lot. You train them on deep things that they don't know, or you feel they have limited knowledge in that thing. But then you go a step further to make sure you guide them. But if it is a workshop, you have organized a workshop, make sure that you have the mindset of a guide. Okay? The second mindset is you show but don't tell. Show but don't tell. Points to something that exists to avoid misunderstanding and misalignment. Now, let's go back to the real estate professional. You are doing a workshop for people who desire to build successful careers in real estate. And if you're talking about a land policy by the Ministry of Land Tenure, different countries have different stuff, Ministry of Land Tenure or urban developments or town planning, whatever. It is better you show. One thing that makes a workshop is you show people things. You don't only tell people, you show people things. And that's why in every good workshop, you will see templates. You prepare templates that people can see and use, or people can take and use, or you prepare tools that people can use and become better. You need templates to go through your workshop successfully. Or you create tools that people can feel or actively play the game with you. So you need to have the mindset of showing people stuff. You point them to things that exist to avoid misunderstanding and misalignment. If you are doing a workshop on business modeling, bring a business model canvas, show them, don't just talk about it. You are doing a workshop on financial analysis, okay, bring sample financial statements, whatever, show them and don't only tell them. And again, you can do this with two primary ways of doing this, right? You can create a template, sample of what you want them to create after the program, or you create tools that they can use to work with during the program. Let's say it's a vocational program, hands-on training. There's somebody here in the program who is the vocational training. She tells me how to make digitals and all type of stuff. So her tools, her equipment, and with her teaching them and walking them through the process. Walking them through the process, and the people experiencing the mixing of the ingredients or the mixing of the chemicals or whatever, that is showing and not just telling them. When you do that, you minimize misunderstanding and misalignment. So that mindset is important. The third mindset is the mindset where you experiment and you iterate. This kind of mindset even starts from the beginning of your workshop. like during your planning phase of your operations, not really on the workshop day before, because you may need to test your templates. There are some templates that you need to create from afresh. When you create them, you may need to test it. You may need to go through the template yourself. There are some templates I have created myself, and I'll sit down and try to fill out the templates as a participant. I'll try to put myself in the shoes of the participant and see, can a participant fill this template in 5 minutes, in 10 minutes? That is experimenting. When you experiment and see difficulties and challenges, you now iterate. You now improve on your solutions, because you need to make sure that what you're creating, what you're designing is on the right track, and your participants can find it useful. You can even experiment your PowerPoint presentation. If you are invited as a guest workshop facilitator and you are given 1 hour and you will need to use a PowerPoint presentation, it is better you try to present that PowerPoint in the house, present it alone and time yourself and see if the content, the number of slides, and your speed of delivery will be able to fit the 1 hour. That is you experimenting. And after experimenting, you may notice that you will need to add a slide or remove a slide, add content or remove content. That particular activity, you can call it iteration. So you need to have the mindset of experimenting and iterating. So we have seen that you need to have the mindset where you are the guide, not the hero. You need to have the mindset where you show and don't only tell. The mindset where you need to experiment and iterate. The last mindset that you need to have is stay curious. Curiosity is one of the most important things that you need as a workshop facilitator. Trainers are curious people. Trainers are curious people. You know, we just had a quick session there. The activity I gave in the community for people to do the social media stuff, right? Some people are not curious. Some people are just there, just there like that. No improvement, nothing. They were not curious, right? Curiosity pushes you to innovate, to improve, to create something better, to make it look good. So one thing about workshop facilitators who stay curious is that they ask open-ended questions. They ask open-ended questions because open-ended questions pushes you to see more possibilities, more perspective, and to hear things from diverse perspectives. Now, for example, instead of asking somebody, let's say you want to ask somebody, will you come in the evening? It's kind of a closed-ended question. It's not open-ended, right? Maybe you can rephrase and say, will you come? That's very open-ended, right? Will you come? And you're not putting the person in the box that they should come in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, all of that. That can now push you to now know whether the person, how is the person's schedule? The person may now ask, oh, what time? You may now go for that. Well, I think what time does the schedule permit? According to my schedule, I'm available in the evening, morning, at this time. You see, it leads to more possibilities. So you need that curious mindset, because one thing that workshops will do for you is workshops will open you up to new things. Participants are coming from different backgrounds, different cities, different villages. They went to different schools. They do different jobs. And all of these, you will only get the juice. You will only get access to the quality of what they carry inside of them when you ask open-ended questions. You can do a slide and then ask somebody, what do you think about this topic? That's a very open-ended question. What do you think about this topic? Or have you ever experienced something like this before? Can you share with us? You give people, your participants, a place where they can openly go into a direction that you least expected because you did not point them to any direction. You did not say, please, can you share with us your perspective according to the days when you were in primary school? That's a closed question. You are pushing somebody to a particular angle. And if they have something to share in their university days or to share from their working days or wherever, they may not feel that is relevant. And your workshop, you need access to diverse perspectives as much as possible because it's also part of you creating impact and helping fellow participants to learn new things from their fellow participants. So ask open-ended questions. Number 2, change your perspective. Change your perspective. Don't be adamant to one perspective. As it used to be, so shall it continue to be. No. That's not the case. Be ready to change your perspective. Be ready to upgrade your perspective. You understand? So, like I keep telling you guys, many times when I start a session, let's say a workshop session where participants are going to speak a lot, I will say, look, feel free to say to ask me questions or to answer things. If you say something I don't know, it means you know more than me in that area. So I'm willing to learn and change my perspective because I can have the wrong perspective or I can have inadequate perspective. And somebody may have a more superior perspective or a more deeper perspective that if I add to what I know, I can become better. So stay curious and change your perspective. Next is look at your challenges from various sides. I think this is one of the most important things that you need to have as far as staying curious is concerned as one of the elements when it comes to developing the mindset of a facilitator or a workshopper. Look at your challenges from various sides. Avoid looking at challenges from one direction. Look at this from different angles. If you are leading a session and the challenge is, let's say, power goes up, like in Africa, which is common, power goes up. If you are not careful, you will just sit and say, there is no power and we are going to wait. That's just one side of the challenge. You're only waiting on the hydroelectric power. Maybe you can get a generator and install in the power system in the building. Or maybe you can adapt your training and continue the session without using the PowerPoint presentation and find a better way to do it practically and still involve everybody. So you look at your challenges from various sides. You don't just stay stuck because a particular thing did not go as expected. Then you are definitely not able to do a lot as far as being a facilitator is concerned, right? So you need to make sure that you stay curious. You need to make sure that you intentionally look at things from different directions. That way, you You are able to see different opportunities, see different success stories, see different ways that you can solve problems and all of that because you need it as a facilitator. This also is very important when you are leading the workshop because you are able to push your participants to also look at things from various sides. And this way you also ask open-ended questions. Let's say you're leading a design thinking, like I've led a lot of design thinking workshops, and we are designing a product for a target market, for example. Now, if you lead a design thinking workshop and you are not curious, you will not bring out the best. Let's say you're designing a product for kids below 10 years old in sub-Saharan Africa. And what are the various challenges? And you know, say, okay, we are designing this product to provide better cereals for kids below 10 years so we can fight malnutrition and make money. What are the challenges? Inadequate access to nutritious food. Okay, and they do the research, or the World Bank actually confirms that that is the case of Sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, good. But is that the only challenge? No, it's not the only challenge. Another challenge could be, that's why I now start looking from various sides. And you can start looking at various sides by looking at who are the various stakeholders involved for this product to successfully get to the kids. Now you think of the parents. The kids don't really have money to pay for this. It is the parents that pay for this to buy for the kids. Okay. Will the parents have the right income level or the right income to pay for this cereal if you price at this particular price? That's another challenge to look at. What about government regulations when it comes to baby food in those countries? You see, you begin to look at problems on various sides. If you focus on just one problem and solve it and ignore others, you will be stranded in the market. So staying curious or having this mindset enables you as the facilitator to dig deep and look at things from different perspectives and enable your participants to also do same and be able to create the incredible result or transformation that they desire to see or you desire to create in your life. So these are the 4 primary elements that makes up the workshopper mindset or the facilitator's mindset. Be the guide and not the hero. As I've explained detailedly, all of these are deeper than these short statements that you see or these two words that you see. Okay, be the guide and not the hero. Show people, have the mindset of always showing. How can I show? How can I show? How can I show you? How can I make them see? How can I make them see? I was focused on seeing, do, seeing, show. All of that. Guide, show. Right? You need to do that. And then you need to experiment and iterate. Have the mindset of experimenting. Have the mindset of iterating. Don't have a stagnant mindset. And then, of course, stay curious. Stay hungry. Stay open to new perspectives. Don't shut out people. Don't shut out new ideas. Don't shut out new perspectives. Stay curious. Look at things from different angles. Look at your challenges from different angles. All of these are critical as far as building a successful career is concerned as a workshopper, and of course, delivering an excellent facilitation session that will create the transformation looking at. And anytime you embody all of these 4 mindsets, trust me, you will always create transformation because all of these elements that create this mindset will enable you to do what? 1, will enable you to create a good workshop structure, will enable you to have excellent delivery, will enable you to relate better with your people, with your participants. And when that happens, of course, transformation is the outcome. Any questions? You can ask me now, and we'll run up this session.